So you're going to have to make a roll to see whether you are weakened. By definition, you're going to get the information that you need. You don't need to roll for that because this is the kind of thing you're good at.
Okay.
But on the other hand, especially with this guy helping you, you work together pretty well. But in fact, this guy's name is Jeff, D-J-E-F. Okay. So, and so you and he will work together pretty well. But the problem is getting sickened by it, how bad. In this game, if there's a chance to die, I'll tell you before the roll.
So you can throw everything you can.
Right. So what I'm saying is that in your case, this is not lethal. This is not a lethal roll.
Okay.
It would be for a human, and quite possibly if you failed it, he might not survive, for example. So I'm just letting you know. But on the other hand, you get far enough to tell this is a limited area and you can get through it. You can come out the other side. So it's just going to be dangerous to do it. Yeah, that's how that will work. I have some ideas about that.
Okay.
But the point is you will get the information of how far it goes, and it's not as far as you feared. It doesn't go on forever. You know, there's a
point.
There's a point where you will come out of the defilement zone and you will only be back in the ordinary, terrifying, wasteland. Rocky Mountains. So,
really good.
Yeah, the regular, place where there's living things that are all carnivorous. Okay, so but there's going to be a roll. You have a little bit of an issue. You are trying to sneak past an armed surveillance, heavy, careful set of people whose job is to guard precisely against such threats as yourself. Although they are usually looking for more of a large-scale problem. One little skulker is not necessarily their priority. That's why you have a chance. Now, as for you, you're the one who's looking about.
I'm going to try to climb as high
on
the side on the side and then go.
I think that makes perfectly good sense. And
that was what I was thinking about.
Right, I know, but you don't have a
climbing.
You're not much of a climber.
Yeah.
And you are much more of an animalistic person. So that's what I had in mind.
Experienced
with an animal to help her.
Yeah,
so
makes sense.
Yeah. So so that's your role, but there are certain things that might be noticeable for you that we're going to have to check for.
Okay.
For you, we have to find out what happens to you before we check with Anita, because you might be one of the things she notices. Right? And then, and here's the most fun part. You will come upon a bunch of bodies of Doom Reapers, which are these big, weird, segmented insectoid. They're not humanoid. Show him a picture.
No, that's his family.
Yeah, it's his family.
Oh,
exactly.
No.
Yeah.
I think it's alphabetical, so.
Yeah, I will see.
Dune Reapers are after the Drakes.
Yes, I know. Yes. Here, that's my family.
Oh. Okay.
I was raised by these
shrimp lizards. And they are found on the way.
Yes, they're in the defiled zone and they have been overcome. They have been, the fluids have been leached out of them. They are all desiccated.
Okay, so I
agonized, died in agony in the sun.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So they've been stuck there. Or can I check
go ahead. Yeah.
Can I check if they were forced to stay or investigate the
That's a very good question. Yeah, so you can. Let's do a little rolling and checking though. Okay, so the first thing for you to check is the effects of the zone on you. Okay, so the way this game works is I will tell you whether you get 1, 2, or 3 dice. Then you look to see if you have any traits that matter, and you have to pick 1 trait. And if it has a bonus, then you get to add those as dice to as well. So I will say this is 2 dice, and now take a look at your traits and see if any of those traits, the only one that's possible,
The number 4.
which is
Always looking for ways to increase your gainings, but ways like no, maybe not.
maybe there's not much to gain here, but
No.
but maybe Come on,
Information.
yeah. Elf, go ahead.
Left her past life. Perhaps I witnessed a lot.
Well,
Perhaps
that's
on
I
the
was
side.
thinking that's more about the past. Elf would count.
Yeah.
Elf. Okay.
Yeah. Do you have a +1 in elf?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 1 more die.
3.
3 dice then.
Jesus.
So I gave you 2. You get 1 more. That's 3 dice, and now you have a choice. So this is where we are learning the system. Okay. Now you have a choice. Look at your pool.
7.
Right. You can choose to put in as many dice as you want from your pool in there as well. If you succeed in the roll, then you don't lose them.
I don't lose the pool.
The ones you used. Say you say, oh, I will put in 3 dice from my pool. If you fail the roll, those 3 dice will go away.
Okay.
And
Well,
you'll lose them from your pool.
I
So-
saved them.
How do you
Okay.
gain?
If you succeed in the roll,
Yes.
then you have the choice to get plus to add a die to your pool, or to do something else.
Okay.
Oh,
Alright.
so I can get the addition to
Yeah.
write that I am good in investigating.
For example, yeah.
Okay. Well, I think.
Well, the point is, do you want to use?
You
Let me
wanna
tell you
use
how to
that.
succeed. If you roll a 1 on any of the dice, and it doesn't matter how many ones, then you succeed.
Okay.
So the more dice, the more chance you have to succeed.
Okay. So it's like
Yeah.
about 15% chance. Okay.
Yeah.
I think the chances are. How many rolls do I get?
You get 1.
1.
And and so the point is that if you wanted to, you can put more dice in from your pool.
You have 7 in your pool.
So if you put in 1 or 2 from your pool, your chances go up.
I want that too.
Okay, sounds good. So 5 dice. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So here you go.
Yep.
There
I
is
see
a
a 1.
1.
Okay. Fantastic. So you're not going to get harmed. You are careful with your tactics to avoid the sun sickness.
Okay. So
Right.
I don't subtract the pool.
No,
Oh.
that's the point. If you failed, then those 2 dice would be gone.
Okay.
Your pool would drop to 5.
Okay.
And
Now
it's-
you have a cool choice. Now you have a cool choice. I know it sounds complicated with all this system, but there really isn't that much. You can either choose now to add 1 to your pool, and so it goes up to 8.
Mm.
And then I will tell you what happens when you succeed.
Mm.
Or you can leave your pool the way it is at 7, and you describe how you succeed.
Ah.
And you can't make up stuff like in the backstory. Like you can't suddenly say, I find the jewels or something like that.
Mm.
But you could say, I find something valuable, and I would have to tell you what it is.
Okay.
The point is, when you narrate the outcome, you can put in some nice advantage.
Okay.
So that's up to you. Either a pool increase or getting to say how it turned out.
I go for the pool increase.
Okay, up to 8. In that case, I will describe, how you do it. And that's the system, right?
That's cool.
So yeah. So that's the other thing the pool does, is wiggle.
Yeah.
In the rolls. So, and that's how you lose dice from the pool, is when you put them in from the pool and then you fail a roll, then those dice will go away. I always narrate the failures. Okay. So the key here is that you will find that they had been caught. They had been doing something like hunting, maybe even the prey that they caught, some animal that they had caught to eat. So it's like finding, the fossilized remains of a hunter and its prey in the same moment. And so it seems as though somebody had done this and had just, desiccated them. And that they had been caught in the zone when that happened. What isn't therefore clear is what spell had been cast, what purpose did it have. You don't see any obvious clues, about that. Although now that I'm thinking about it, would there be any clues as to what had been done here?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I'm thinking actually that there are because of the success, and you have kept your head and are not getting sick. And Jeff actually is kind of getting sick as a human. He's not as tough as you
I'll
in
send
the
him
environment.
back.
Yeah. And so
It's worse.
But yeah, so the point is you can make sure that he doesn't die.
Yeah,
right?
I have to make
If
sure.
you had failed the roll, you would be sickened
And he
and he would die. Yeah.
Okay.
So-
What's closest, the end or the beginning?
That's a very good question. The end.
I want-
the end, not the
Okay.
beginning.
I want, after discovering what happened to these creatures, I say, okay, we continue the closest.
We'll keep
exit,
going. We might as well get out the other.
And
the
I'll
far
go
end.
back
Yeah.
to the caravan.
Got it. Okay. So you're busy doing that. Now let's see about you skulking about.
Yeah, I either had the stock very silently or I had halflings, so either of those.
Well, are you stalking prey, or are you just trying to get away around these guys? I thought you were just trying to get around.
I'm trying to get around, so maybe more
Halfling.
halfling.
Yeah.
But what did we learn that he died from?
Yes, correct. That you find that you find a place where the spell was cast, which is particularly, it's like a center, right, of the effect. And you can see that proceeding away from there are what look like, it's not really, okay. In that center effect, where the ground is mostly rocks, but in that center effect, it's been blasted into white powder. So there's like a little circle, right, of the rocks have been vaporized into white powder. So in there are footprints, and then you can see where they leave that little zone of white powder, and then there are brushes of powder for a little while until it's worn off. So you can tell that there are humanoid footprints. Okay. Although the way it walks seems uneven, like. Yeah.
Okay.
So somebody did something here and then staggered out.
Okay, and the exit is like steep up.
Was
it, or?
I see.
Or what was the end like?
The end here is just more of the same trail, but then there comes a place where it will go up.
Okay, so the exit is at the up, or?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Yeah. That's where you were supposed to be scouting to, yes.
Okay, then we get there, I guess.
Yeah.
And I say, okay, we can go now around the rocks and maybe meet up with her.
That's a good theory, but let's see how everyone else is doing first.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's check with you about getting around the camp.
Yeah.
I want to see if they, put you in a cage or something. Well, let's just do a 2.
Okay.
I'm just calling everything a 2,
Yeah.
unless I decide that it's really terrible, in which case you only get 1.
Or really good.
Or really good, it's just ridiculous. This is your kind of thing, then you'll get 3.
Terrible goods. What is the quality there? Like terrible toward what is the
Think of it as difficult.
terrible for my character to do, or like just in general? Okay.
Well, for your character, I mean, when we do a roll, so for example, if this were a very unwary or ordinary group of travelers, for you would get 3 dice from me.
Okay. I see.
Because that's the kind of thing that his character is totally good at. But this is a vigilant group, so it's going to be harder than that.
All right.
But it's his turf.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be so hard that it's a 1.
But somebody else trying to do
Exactly.
this would be
Right, exactly.
Could it be less than 1? Could you do
No,
0
if it's a 0, then that means it's too hard for a
it's
roll.
undoable.
There's a cutoff.
Yeah.
If it's doable at all, you will get at least 1 die from me.
And I have 1 for the halfling.
Uh-huh.
And I'll spend 3.
Okay, so 3 dice or 6 dice total.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, you
There's
do.
that one.
I do like the fact that each of you has only got 1, right?
Yeah.
So you might be looking at your 2 and 3 die rolls and thinking, Although I have seen,
So wait,
I have seen 10 and 11 die rolls.
wait, has she
that failed.
becomes proficient with investigation, or like was it the second option?
No.
Neither. Let's talk about that in a moment.
Okay.
So right now we're in the middle of here. So now you get to either increase your pool
No,
or to say
yes,
exactly. You want to say
yeah,
how?
I'm scampering up the cliffside to
Okay.
get ahead of the
Oh no.
scouts.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're getting way ahead.
Yeah, I'm getting way ahead. And,
Okay.
I'm
See,
hiding in a crevice.
Right. So he's
Ready.
saying that it was so easy to get past the camp that he had lots of time.
Yeah.
So now you are actually watching.
Yeah.
You'd come upon them first, I think.
Okay.
So do you want to, because of your ability to
But
narrate
didn't,
this,
Jeff,
whom do you
Jeff,
want to be?
Jeff went ahead since you
Yeah,
went back.
maybe.
No, he hasn't gone back yet.
Ah, okay, but
They're at the edge, the
Okay.
far edge.
Then I'm just watching.
You're watching
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
Okay. They probably went up the other side.
Or
No, oh wait,
he
then this is
saw
the point.
me conversing and maybe went
But do you remember what I said? I needed to know what happened with him
Yeah.
before your roll.
I know.
Now it's your roll to spot him
Okay.
along the way.
How many dice?
This actually is, you've got your psionic helper. You're an elf. It's 2, base 2. Yeah.
I'm actually going to.
Most everything is base 2.
I'm actually going to use here the trait my trusted companion, the Curie, because I
yeah.
think
2 eyes are, 2 heads are better than 1. Yeah.
forget the eyes. Maybe she
Sense of
will
smell.
smell him. So,
Smell. Yeah, cats can have good smell.
Yeah.
and I mean.
That's right. So how many dice is that? Plus 1?
Plus one more. What is it?
Oh, you said it was 2.
No. The Curie is 2.
So that's 4 base. You have a base
4
4.
so far.
Uh-huh.
And I will also use 2 more.
Uh-huh.
Everyone going
From
from
my
5.
Yeah.
Yep.
I also
Oh, God, I'm so annoyed. I love narrating failures. I just, the way
Is
I
it
look
a
at it.
failure? What?
No, that's
No.
another success.
Oh.
Yeah.
You want a
he
failure.
wishes.
I want that.
You want us to fail. It's more fun for him that way.
The way I look at it, the dice are just setting you up,
Yeah.
right, for the moment when things go badly.
Alright.
So you are looking at the elf and the human who have come out of the defiled area, which you were like, why would they go through there?
Yeah, I'm guessing the human is looking a bit weak.
Yes, exactly. And you are just busy starting to talk to Jeff and saying, I'm going back, which is fine.
I honestly think Jeff is going to stay there and not dinner.
Well, that's what you were thinking.
Yeah,
It's like, ooh, yeah.
Oh,
And
wait.
So therefore,
Oh no.
I was like thinking that if there's a way to get out of the defilement zone and go through sideways.
it's pretty hard. You certainly can't take him with you for that.
Okay.
And for you, I mean, and getting lost is a danger. So
I mean, like at the side of it, is it in the?
I see. This it's in and bleaching the walls, right? So you actually have to get out of that whole thing in order to travel,
Oh, okay.
and that's really tough. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it would be very tough.
And there is a whole caravan of other people that are supposed to come afterwards.
Yeah.
Anyway, so.
Anyway, let's go back to you.
Mm-hmm.
So you have spotted. Oh wait, do you want to take the die, or do you want to see
No,
what
tell
happens?
me what happens.
Okay, so your pool
Yeah.
goes up by 1. Okay, so that means that as you two are talking, you are stalking, and you are spotting in the stall. You're like, oh look, there's a one of those savage little, those feral dudes.
Forget about him.
Mm-hmm.
I am looking for potential defiler.
Okay, this
So,
is
any
right.
potential assassins or whatever, I'm
Right.
treating this as an ambush.
Yes.
So I do notice him, but I'm actually not going to
Got
say
it.
anything about it.
Right.
This is like,
So what you are coming up upon is a set of caves and cliffs that the road would have come up to, the road-ish. It's not really a road. And that's where you would be, there's one of the mouths actually issues water, which is a huge prize. I mean, a spring, right, is a fantastic thing, but it's,
yeah, that's always suspicious. Huh?
yeah, it doesn't, It seems to be flowing into an area, into a pool that has no exit, for example, and it's weird looking.
And it's also next to the fouled area. If it was
Yeah.
proper water, it would be gone,
Exactly,
right?
yeah. Something's a little weird about this.